Hello, Fringeforians, and welcome to part 3 of Fringe Season 3. As you can tell, they all have really cool, unique cover designs for every season box set that has been released. Okay, so Season 1 taught us that there's more than one of everything, and introduced us to the key players, to the Fringe team who got assembled: Colonel Philip Broyles, more formal Colonel, Olivia Dunham, Peter Bishop, Walter Bishop, Astrid, who Walter cannot say her name right for the life of him, and Charlie Francis. Okay, Season 2, Charlie Francis dies in the very first episode, and we do not realize until a few episodes later that he has been replaced by a shapeshifter. Or we realize, but the Fringe team themselves do not. So, lots of shapeshifters, blah blah. And then who are from soldiers from the other universe sent by Walter's double, Walternate. And then from there, Peter gets taken over to the other side. Peter, where he actually belongs, because that's the universe he is from, Peter from our universe died. Okay. So, Season 2 ends with our guys crossing over into the other universe, some of them running into their doubles. Cool stuff like that. And explosive ending where William Bell sacrifices himself to send our team back. And where Olivia has been switched. And then we see Peter and Olivia getting together. And we see, this is the wrong Olivia. And that's where Season 3 begins. Season 3 is really cool because alternating storylines between the two universes and a bunch of interconnected stories that actually play on the whole story. The main series story. The people in the other world are very different, and because we have no Charlie anymore, it is nice to see Charlie in the other universe. Season 3 starts pretty explosively, where our Olivia escapes her confines and convinces a cab driver, Henry, to drive her around everywhere, even though he's not 100% convinced that she is not just insane. Because she does accost him in a hospital gown, and that's just kind of weird. But she has such conviction, such drive, and she's doing her best to figure out how to get to the other side. She shoots at her teammates, Lincoln Lee and Charlie Francis, who are not actually her teammates, and she knows this. But Walternate and his associates have already taken steps to implant new memories within Olivia's mind. Memories that belong to faux Olivia, as our Walter ends up calling her later in the season, once they figure out they've been had. So she tells Henry to take her to a safe house that she was told to go to. Safe house happens to be her mother's house, and in our world, Olivia's mother has long since passed away. It's not a safe house, it's the safe house, as her mother says. Our Olivia begins to forget who she is, and thinks that she is the other Olivia. The other Olivia never thinks for a second that she is the other Olivia. And what's more, she's working with Newton and the shapeshifters. But she's just doing her job the way our Olivia used to in Season 1. The way that she just did her job and didn't ask questions. I mean, she did ask questions. She always asked questions. But, I mean, before she joined the Fringe team, she did her job because it was her job. And once she joined the Fringe team, all these impossible events started occurring, and she questioned everything. we see our Olivia afraid, which is not usually the case in anything that we've seen of her thus far, except for maybe the end of season 1, and for when she thought she was losing Peter, which she doesn't really remember. And Peter pops up, like, in her mind, telling her that she's forgetting something, that this is not who she is, that this is... And our Olivia seduces Peter, or the other Olivia, I mean, seduces Peter, plays on Walter's sympathies, plays on everyone else on the team, and then gets transported back to the other universe once they figure out who she is. In a major extraction point, she has this crazy hostage situation thing with another shapeshifter. The shapeshifter killed this woman and took on her body. Olivia holds her up, says, "Don't come any closer, I will shoot her." But Peter does. Peter shoots the hostage for her because he knows it's a shapeshifter. And we have a very, very upset, distraught girl in this scene, and it's terrible to think that these shapeshifters are completely destroying people's lives. Completely replacing people's family members, people's loved ones. And those people not having an explanation because the information is top secret. We even have a few episodes that explore, hey, what happens if a shapeshifter takes on the person's role for an extended period of time, say like years. We see Newton visiting a shapeshifter that had once been, had not had a new assignment in a long time and started living the life of the other person. He accepted the people as his family. He actually loved them the way that the real person would have. But no, Newton's like, you can change. But of course, Newton goes bye-bye because when we capture him, his foe Olivia, working with him and the people from the other side, she knows that Newton will blow her cover. She kills him. So, but the thing is, she also isn't doing anything in cold blood. And she isn't just tricking Peter. She actually falls in love with him. When she gets back to the other side, we find out that she's preggo. Alternate finds out and progresses the process to quite a degree, and then she has the child, and now Walternate has what he needs to power the machine without Peter. Sacrifice my son to save my world. Walter, our Walter, would sacrifice a world to save his son. Think about that. Coming back into Season 3, we have Sam Weiss, who knows a heck of a lot about the machine, and we find out that his ancestors actually wrote the first People book. But they didn't write it, they merely recorded manuscripts that they found. Which, spoiler alert, came from our future. Okay, so basically, lots of really cool stuff happens. We get introduced to our version of Lincoln Lee in one of the final episodes. We get William Bell and possessing Olivia's body. We have Walter and Peter taking tons and tons of LSD in order to go inside Olivia's head to reclaim her, which ensues into a really cool cel-shaded episode, which is episode 319, Lysergic Acid Diethylamide, which, for those not in the know, that is the chemical formula for LSD or acid. Which I'm not condoning, it just happened in the show, okay? Broyles was tripping as well, and that was just kind of funny. Speaking of Broyles, we also had a storyline where, yes, this is actually important. Olivia knew who she was. Broyles knew she knew. He helped her because she helped his son feel happy again. Even after such hardship and such pain and such premature aging due to what his kidnapper, the Candyman, did to him by taking fluid from his pituitary gland. Which pituitary gland related fringe events seem to pop up in every single season. Coincidence? I think not. Which is funny because cortexiphan is applied to your spinal column. Yeah. We have... And Broyles makes the ultimate sacrifice. By helping Olivia, he is forced to be the mask that takes the place of Olivia when she crosses over into her world. Our Broyles sees other Broyles die. We see him get cut in half. It's really horrific. And we get a sense that none of these people are good or bad. They have their roles, they have their jobs, they follow them. That's what happens. Yeah. So, basically, the season ends with Olivia using her power to turn off the machine on the other side so Peter can get into the machine on our side. Peter gets in the machine, is sent into the future, sees a vision of our world in 20 years or so in the wake of us using the machine to destroy the other universe. Walter says something about having somehow brought Peter there to see that he can change the future. It's the final episode, The Day We Died, is really, really awesome. So basically, he finds out that the machine was actually invented by Walter and sent in pieces back in time to make it seem like it's some ancient tech. And that is why it is in tune to Peter. But whatever world ends is based on which Olivia Peter chooses. He chooses our Olivia, but no. He makes the ultimate sacrifice. Well, he doesn't remember that he does this, but he does. Instead of destroying either world, he creates a bridge that connects both universes. And in so doing, he causes his own existence to never have occurred. So, that's where we pick up when Season 4 starts. And let me tell you, Season 4 is the most crazy thing ever, except for the new season that's coming up, because that's going to be wild. But the thing about finales, Fringe does this amazing thing where every single season has a perfectly executed finale and a finale that could potentially be the end of the series. For we see Season 1, we see David Robert Jones' machine to his gateway to the other world collapses. You see him get cut in half. Day saved. Whatever. Go back to your lives. Whatever. ZFT, we figured it out. It's all good. It's all golden. And then, added to that, at the very end of the episode, we see Olivia dragged into another universe by William Bell, played by Leonard Nimoy, and we then see Olivia looking out from a building that no longer exists in our world. It was a really cool ending. But that was added to a more ultimate ending. say Season 2 ends with us crossing back over. The Fringe division finally gets approved for funding. They realize that it really is an important security measure. Thank you, Colonel Broyles. And we see Peter and Olivia together again, and happy. We see that. Okay, that's the end. And then we see Olivia trapped. Oh no! Season 3 is the same kind of way. It's like, hey look, we're going to work on our differences and our problems together. I created this bridge, so... And then... Peter's gone. But if he just said, I created this bridge, and I know what we need to do, that could have been the end there. Or it could have been the end where he's catapulted into the future, and the machine has destroyed another world. That could have been the end too. But anyway, that's all for Season 3. And I will try to post a Season 4 review before Friday. So anyone that really wants to watch Season 5 when it premieres can at least understand a little bit of the workings behind this program. Catch you later.